Yeah. Yeah. Come on in. Come on in. What's up? Good, popping, cracking. Percolate was really good in the hood. This man Theo Butler, and I apologize. I'm feeling some type of way this evening. I'm feeling some type of way this evening. Before we begin, y'all pull on up, hit that like button, because once we get started, folks have a tendency to forget. That's my fault. I'm apologizing for that and everything like that. We'll begin. Y'all know how we do. We'll begin once we got two. That'll be a crew. Then we can make it do what it do. Now tell them it's in the building. What is going on? Now tell them we in here. Man, I'm in my feelings. Man. Thank you so much. Now tell them for pulling up. I really do appreciate that, big dog. I appreciate you for pulling up and everything like that. You did not have to. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, man, oh man, I'm in my feelings. Nothing drastic, major, just something. You know, I was on the spirit plane last night. I was in the Dejalia. I was on stroll. I was on patrol. And you know, I believe in gatekeeping. We were under attack. we were under attack last night, and my Panther habit got broke. We won, but yeah, it was that. You're like, Theo, what? Well, okay. Transparent moment, full transparent moment. I fight in my sleep. I know you like, whoa. Big dog, that don't seem like you was fighting in your sleep. That seemed like it was, yeah. It take my wife to tell you. I didn't beat my own behind in my sleep. I got the marks to show it. I do. What's going on, Professor Film Fan? Professor Film Fan is in the building. That said, though, y'all pray for me. I have made an appointment with the VA. My wife is tired of me beating me up in my sleep. Never, we just need some help. So y'all pray for me. That said, we got two. That's a crew, right? Hey, everybody else gonna have to pull up. It is partially my fault. This is late notice. That said, let's go ahead and go over tonight topics. We'll go ahead and use that as a way to give folks to pull up. Ring culture would say, oh no, broke the chocolate cup. I know. What's up? Gray is in the building. What's going on, Gray? I mean, we won. I got to replace this because this was my favorite mug and everything like this. Playing Poppy sent this to me. We got to get this back. I have went and priced it on where I needed to price it at, and me and the wife gonna make a move on it this evening and everything like that. But Plant Poppy must have knew. He must have knew. That said, though, let's go ahead and go. I think we got a great show. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna say I think. If nothing else, we have a thought-provoking show tonight. Kamoyo King, president of the Black Panther fan group, is in the building. Yes, Hasbro. They supposed to preview, show us. Kamoyo gonna laugh. My brother D will too. A police figure, a police action figure. It lists the military line. Anyway, they whiffed on it during the Hasbro PostCon. We'll discuss exactly how that happened and why it happened and why that's funny. We're going to talk about it. Ring culture, as alluded to earlier, explain to LeBron James and his fans by a sports fan. We're going to talk about it. Straight, no chaser. Yeah, we're going to get into it. A pic on TikTok got him heated. How a pic on TikTok turned into a Genu scanner. You know how Rom got his scanner? And he could tell who real and who ain't. Yeah, that pic over there on TikTok is showing who he is and who ain't. I started to think all you gotta do is just throw something like that out there. The roaches will come on out. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. The perception of a comic book reviewer. Who we think knows what and why. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. Ironheart. I read the comments. This is some good coffee. FBAs, free Black Americans. I know y'all like Theo. No. Because we're gonna break this down. I just want to know where they come from. That's all I want to know. I want and how I'm gonna approach this. Yes, only the Rock With Me Nation way. Yeah, before we jump off into that and everything like that, we're not gonna be rude as a guest. No, we will not be rude because y'all could have been anywhere else this evening. Right. Y'all could have been anywhere else this evening. Y'all pulled up here, and I want to let y'all know that I am grateful. I'm humble. I'm absolutely humble. So with that being said, let's go ahead and greet the folks as they are in the building. It is What a Week It Was Wednesday with the Rock With Me Nation. We got Now Tell Him. He says I ask difficult questions. It's going to be one of them episodes. We got Gray, the super producer in the building. We got Professor Film Fan. I think his name, his handle says it all. Yes. We got Grand Madam Tarot, my spiritual advisor, is in the building. And the Kamoyo King, president of the Black Panther fan group. Also, you got a YouTube channel. Yeah, you ain't gotta wait. Yeah, you didn't know? Yeah, it's a whole YouTube channel dedicated to nothing but Black Panther stuff. You ain't gotta wait. I know that's what folks keep telling us. Wait. We got a saying over here with the Rock With Me Nation. We will not beg for what somebody else then got. We will either make it ourselves or take it. You better hope and pray we choose the former. And thus far, we've been making our own. We've been making our own. We got S Jadix in the building. To be the greatest, you got to have rings and individual accolades. Ooh, come on, somebody. So, with that being said, because S Jadix is he who likes to steer the ship. Thank you. No, seriously, no. Anyway, rain culture. We will start there. We will. Now, somebody came out of high school. They was the king. You got to accomplish some stuff, and then it ain't for you to call yourself that. It ain't. Daryl did not anoint himself as the prophet. He didn't. he didn't. Bill Clinton didn't call himself the first Black president. Yeah, I'm being funny, but he didn't. he didn't. Some have said I am the best flag football official in Tallahassee. I didn't give myself that label. Nope. As far as playing linebacker, flag football in Tallahassee for as long as I did, that's for the streets to tell you. I just know I wasn't no scrub. The streets gonna tell you what they gonna tell you. I just know I wasn't no scrub. In essence, you don't give yourself labels like that. You don't. The only reason why folks call me Theo, I did give myself sort of kind of that name, but it comes from the first 4 letters of my middle initial that my mother gave me. Thus, I ain't even responsible for that. See how that goes? Well, in anything in life that we put ourselves out there to do, we strive to be the best at it. We strive to be the best at it. If you get accolades, you get accolades. But you know what you want to be able to say at the end of the day? You gave it your all. You gave it your all, because at the end of the day, are you really measuring yourself against somebody else? That's the immature thing to do. Or are you measuring yourself against who it matters? You. Yeah, you got to outperform you. You got to outperform you. When you get caught up looking at somebody else, just first understand you're not that person. Their experience in life aren't necessarily going to be your experiences in life. How they got to what they got might not necessarily be your path. It's their path. But let's talk about ring culture and the path of LeBron James. Okay, nobody wants to come to Cleveland. No, nobody wants to go play basketball in Cleveland. LeBron, you don't have to tell us that. Your fans don't have to tell us that. We saw that. We saw that. We also saw you lead your team as a young man to the NBA Finals. We didn't expect you to win. You were going up against the San Antonio Spurs. But you did do that. That's an accolade. You might be looking at that as a negative, but that's actually a feather in your hat. It's not a ring, though. It is an accomplishment, but it's not a ring. It's not a ring. Yes, we can say Mike never did that. We can, but it's still not a ring. It's a huge accomplishment, but it's not a ring. It's not a ring. For you to be compared to Michael Jordan, your NBA total would have had to be your win-loss record. That would have had to have been the only loss on your resume, but it's not. The resume that you have has a loss on it that you cannot explain. Way too many of your defenders will look past. No, it's when you lost to the Dallas Mavericks. And I'm not even tripping on the fact that the Miami Heat lost to the Dallas Mavericks. I'm looking at how you ran away from the moment in that finals. You shrunk. Great ones don't shrink in the moment of greatness. You shrunk. You let cats like me guard you out on the perimeter. And as a big, small forward, you did not take them in the block. You know what Michael Jordan would do when he was going up against a smaller, quicker player? We finna go down in the blocks. No, I ain't finna stay out here. What for? That's basketball 101. And everybody keeps talking about your basketball IQ. Your basketball IQ allowed you to be D'd up by Jason Barrera, Jason Kidd, and Jason Terry. And I just want you to know, as a LeBron James fan, I am sick to my stomach that you let them do that. I'd have wore them boys out. Damn a jump shot. I'd have told everybody to clear out. We going in the blocks, and I'm finna wear them out. But you didn't do that. You shrank. You ran away from the moment. Now let's address this Hall of Fame coaching thing that quite a few of your supporters like to throw out there. Oh, Michael Jordan had a Hall of Fame coach. We didn't know that at the time. No, we didn't know at the time Phil Jackson was going to the Hall of Fame. Phil was there for the ride like we was there for the ride. So stop that lie. That's cap. But we do know you had Eric Spoelstra. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five. You had Eric Spoelstra. You had Dwayne Wade. Mind you, you had Dwayne Wade in your first year on the Miami Heat. That's an all-star. And Chris Bosh was there too. That's two all-stars. Did you win the NBA Finals with that team? Because contrary to what folks like to say, when Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls won their first NBA title, he was the only all-star on the team. Yeah. I know Scotty was nice. Scotty won an all-star. That was the next season. What did you do with the Miami Heat? You left. What for? Oh, you wanted to bring an NBA title home to Cleveland. Congratulations. How many titles you think you the one had you stayed in Miami? You left. That's history. That's NBA history. That's American history. That's world history. You chalked up the deuces and you left. You made that decision. Now let's talk about these other decisions that you keep making. You want your money, don't you? I ain't mad at that. I ain't counting your pockets. But when you burning the candle at both ends, you can't be mad at the results you get. Mike wasn't getting paid like that. You and your detractors never mention that. Mike wasn't getting paid like that. Mike was getting paid off of endorsements. And Scotty wasn't getting paid like that either. Nobody was. We just literally saw that, right? Play out in The Last Dance. That's ring culture. How much you want to get paid every time? Don't you want to be, and you're not cutting no hometown discounts, right? You're not giving Cleveland no discount. You're not giving Miami no discount. You're not giving Cleveland no discount. You're not giving LA a discount. But yet you want to be surrounded by talent. Mike never had such say-so. If you want to say Mike and Scotty had some say-so, it was Dennis. But by then, they had three. By then, they had three. So who was choosing the roster? Oh, it was Jerry Krause, right? And Jerry Reinsdorf. Y'all give me 1 second. The representative of Bass has just awakened and they want to be on camera, but they're not going to act like that. So y'all give me a second. I got to go put them up. No. I'm going to come. You always know I'm doing a line. You ain't going to do right. Come on in and shut up. Yep. My fault. What you gonna do, right? Right. Where was I? Oh yeah, Mike ain't have no say so over the roster, and folks gonna want us to believe that you don't have say so over the roster. That's a lie. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Your say so over the roster starts with I don't want all that money, up to the point where hey, let's get more talent. Don't worry about paying me like that. I'm gonna make it. Do you need the money if you got the endorsement sitting out there like that? Do you? No, you don't. Those are all decisions that you and Rich Paul have made. But then you brought up Steve Nash. Let's talk about Steve Nash. Steve Nash is him. Yeah, you throw Steve Nash's name out there like that, like folks that watch Steve Nash play don't know Steve Nash nice. We don't need you to validate Steve Nash. He don't have an NBA title, but we're not looking at Steve Nash like he ain't nice. No, he nice. Now let me help you out. See, when you talk about ring culture, there's a difference between contributing to the ring and sitting on the bench, right? Let me help you out. So I'm gonna throw myself in because you might not know what I'm talking about. This ain't probably ever been you because you always been him. My high school, 1983. We won the state football championship in Georgia. AAA. James Jackson. I don't know if y'all remember that name and everything like that. That's the first black quarterback to start for the University of Georgia. Yes, I'm proud to say that I played with him at Mitchell Baker High School. James started 5'10", 5'11" quarterback. Boy, look, you couldn't catch him, and that arm, woo! Learn one of my life lessons you've heard me quote numerous times on this channel from James Jackson when I was in high school. That ain't what we're talking about, though. James Jackson, right? Right. Quarterback, University of Georgia. State championship, right? He was starting quarterback. I was in the 10th grade. I was on that team. Yeah. I was on that team. yeah. I didn't start. A sophomore. No, Reginald Jackson. I'm sorry, Reginald Butler, my cousin, started at one linebacker, and Russell, I forget Russell. I want to say Russell Shepard. So, you know, you be remembering them names from old football, but Russell Shepard started at the other. They were, boy, look, oh Lord Jesus. It was a reason why I wasn't starting. But played a 3-4 defense. Anyway, James started, sat on the bench. Am I a state football champion? Yeah, I am. I can say that. Yeah, I can say that. You think it don't mean the same as James though. Like, we're not comparing me to Russell. I know where I was. I was on the bench. Well, you when you talk about ring culture, no, LeBron, we're not looking at. We could. We could. It's the reason why they call him Big Shot Rob. It's a reason because he ain't never shy away from the moment. Oh no, you could put him in there. 2 seconds left to go in the game. Wet. So we could. Steve Kerr. I like that one. How many rings we think Steve Kerr got? 3. Okay, LeBron. If we ring culture, you think Steve Kerr's 3 NBA titles mean as much to us as your 4? I don't think you giving the NBA fan enough credit. I really, I think you think we done. I really, you really think we looking at the dude at the end of the bench who got 6 rings because he just stayed on the Chicago Bulls roster? You think we looking at that dude with the same amount of respect that we looking at with you because he got more than you? If Rich Paul told you that, you need to fire Rich Paul. No. You're not being measured up against, you're being measured up against Michael, which is impressive in and of itself. Yes, sir. You're being, you. No, don't bring Steve into this. Don't bring nobody. No, you, because you wanted this ever since you got out of high school. You are being compared to Mike. You not being compared to nobody else, my guy. And it's your fault. You wanted it, you got it. Okay, well, you being compared to Mike. Here's the thing. 6 NBA titles. Forget that. Regardless of what game I saw Mike play, and some people are going to call this revisionist history. I never saw Mike do what you did against the Dallas Mavericks. You ran. Nobody wants to say that to you. Nobody wants to put that out in the air and everything like that because they know that's the thing that if you're not careful, you can't walk back from. Well, I don't mind it. You ran. You ran. You ran. I was pissed. I can say you ran because I was rooting for you. I wanted y'all to win. I wanted you to do exactly what you said. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. It wasn't the fact that you lost, you ran. I watched you do in that series what you did not do against the San Antonio Spurs. You ran, and everybody saw it. You got confused. You were shook. You didn't raise to the moment. The moment engulfed you. That never happened with 2-3. Never. And we saw 2-3 when he really could have let it go. Gave up. We saw 2-3 get put on the floor. It's literally, folks, the Jordan rules. Give me the LeBron rules. Give me the LeBron rules. There are none. Stop complaining. The fact that you're even in the same conversation with Michael says something in and of itself. Who would have thought it? A young man, no father in the picture, coming out of high school. Be proud of that. That's something to hang your hat on. The thing that Mike can't compete with you with, which you seem to keep looking past. How many young black men have you put in college? Yeah. Let's talk about what really matters. How many young black men have you put in college? That matters. What about your marriage? That symbol of excellence. You as a father, That matters. That matters. And in a lot of ways, in which it really does, because you see, Mike played a game. Basketball is a game. You're living life. And some could argue in those aspects, you're more successful than Michael will ever be. And it involves a ring. Look at that. Ring culture. I'm going to keep up with these notes. We're going to shift gears and everything like that. I'm going to keep up with these comments. Thank y'all so much for pulling it up. Y'all did not have to. Grand Madam, S. Jaddix, everybody greeting one another. Ronnie J is in the building. What's going on, Ronnie? Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Shaq, and Kobe's wife, Phil Jackson, is a Hall of Fame coach. That's it. That's it. But also after the latest NBA, CBA superstars are going to need to give up some money because that second apron is a Mortal Kombat fatality. I'm going to tell you like this, S. Jaddix. It's simple math. It's always been simple math. If you're gobbling up the majority of the payroll, right, who can they bring in? And we need to be looking at who's been winning it, who has been winning NBA titles recently. It ain't the stars where everybody come. No, you got folks coming in, they playing together, they done built up a chemistry. Here's the thing. Nobody knew that the person necessarily was going to be a star in the league, regardless of where they drafted them at, until that person performed. That person performed. That person is on a rookie contract. You bring it in, folks, that, hey, man, it's all about the team. Teams win team sports. Well, you're right. Teams do win team sports. But your paycheck is literally 1/4, if not 2/3 of, a third of the team's payroll. Okay, you want another superstar. Okay, now just y'all two, gobbling up 2/3 of the team's payroll. And you looking for what? See, Mike didn't have them problem because Mike ain't had no say-so like that. We paying you what we want to pay you. Michael Jordan, Patrick Mahomes, because he's copying it, has literally given Tom Brady, because he copied it too, has literally given the blueprint to how to get as many titles as you want to. Go out there and be great. Leverage your greatness into off the field, off the court endorsements. Don't hit the team upside the head. Take what they get you. Work on your acting chops. Invest smartly, like MJ did. Leverage your likeness. Every time somebody want to use your name, boy, I need that change. Don't worry about what the team paying you. You being who you are, they always gonna make sure you're good. You just don't want to handicap the team financially. That way they can bring folks in. Let's ask this question. Anybody ever thought about why nobody wants to play with him? It's rings, right? We say we're going to go get rings, right? Kevin Durant ain't never wanted to play with that dude. What? Why not? He nice. Why y'all don't want to play with him? John Sally went to go play with him. John Sally left the Detroit Pistons. I'm going to go play with Mike. Stop that. Charles Barkley was this dude's friend. Here we go. My brother that played for the New York Knicks and everything, like Charles Oakley. Charles Oakley didn't want to leave Chicago. Like, they wanted to go play with this dude. You don't hear folks giving horror stories about, I didn't want to play with Mike until we get to the Washington Wizard days. But nobody wanted to play. What you mean? Kawhi Leonard didn't want to play with it. Why not? Kyrie left. That was dumb. I still think that was the dumbest thing Kyrie could have did. The person that left at the chance to play with him was Kevin Love. Mind you, before any of that and after that, he was in Miami. Him, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen. Like, what you leave for? You left. That was your own. You left. You left. I don't know how many more. Okay, so you lost to the San Antonio Spurs. You know what? Magic Johnson and the Lakers didn't always win back to back to back to back. No, sometimes they went somewhere and lost to somebody. Please see Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics. Run it back. But you know what? Y'all not necessarily the run it back generation. We see that with Kevin Durant. Y'all don't believe in doing that. When Big Ben and Drew Brees got the mega contracts, the teams they played for suffered. Bam. When Patrick Mahomes said, "Yeah, everybody was talking about he cut the Chiefs a hometown discount," I said he ain't stupid. Patrick sitting there like, "Oh no, man, I get paid handsomely by State Farm. I don't need it like that." Tom Brady sitting up there with some of the ugliest shoes I ever seen in my life, actually called Uggs. I don't need it like that. I'm good. Tom didn't even want all the money when he went to Tampa. I just want to play football. And folks act surprised. Tampa went. Did you not see everybody and their mama want to go play with Tom in Tampa? Oh yeah, take other football players were cutting Tampa deals just to play with Tom Brady. You know that. That's Tampa history. That's Florida history. That's American history. That's world history. You read that. You saw that just like I did. Let's not act like that. Well, he ain't never wanted to do that. Well, you can't complain about ring culture when you ain't, watch this, been a student of the game. Keeping up with these notes. Oh my goodness. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. Speaking of State Farm, damn those Batman commercials. We got Maxine Shaw in the building. Come on, your facts. Hell, how much more money does LeBron need? That dude a billionaire already. Didn't he average like 7 points per game in the finals after they were up 2-0? That's coming up from Professor Film. You know what? That is a great question. That is a great question. Maxine, and let's keep it a bean. If I ain't gonna call him that, hadn't called in a favor and got Draymond Green kicked out of Game 5, they would have lost that series too. There is speculation out there to that. LeBron is on Kobe's team wearing MJ's number and doesn't even compare to either one. You going in hard, ain't you? You are going, you straight no chasing her, Maxine, none. It became rain culture when LeBron stopped winning them. I mean, I'm like this. You know what? Yes, first of all, I agree with that. But damn, dog, you've been a 10. Who's saying that? You've been a 10. You didn't won with 3 different teams. That's something in and of itself. Kevin Durant can't say that. Also, here we go. Here's another feather in LeBron's hat. You ain't gonna play for the team that beat you. You say, you know what? No, run that back. Now here we go. Now props. Run that back. Run that back. I need that. I need that. Run that back. Hey, you ran it back. Man, that's respect all day. You easily could have went to go play for the Celtics because they had all that over there. You didn't do it. That's respect all day. But this other stuff you got going on, see how I'm able to give you your props. See how I'm able to do that. But this other stuff you got going on, man, stop the madness. Yes, when we're talking greatness, we're only comparing great ones to great ones. The upper echelon to the upper echelon. And you, my friend, are in that category. By and large, to a degree, your own fault. You're not being compared to Magic Johnson. You're not being compared to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You're not being compared to Bill Russell. Hell, he got 11 of them. 2 of them as a coach. You're not even being head coach, mind you, player coach. That's crazy. You're not being compared to him. You're being compared in the same conversation as 2-3, the ball dude. That's to be commended. You're just not him. You had your chance to be him, right? You're not him. You're still great. You still great. You just not the GOAT. You're not the greatest of all time when it comes to putting that ball in the cup. That's what that is. But you still great though. You great. Like damn, you're not good. You great. You still great. You great. Kevin Nash is not an average basketball player. He's great. He's great. And when we talk about all-time great point guards, hell yeah. Kevin Nash up there. Now mind you, because he's in the conversations with great ones, he do get compared to somebody that was 6'9". He do get compared to somebody that played for the Detroit Pistons. He do. I'm sorry. It is, but you know he ain't getting compared to Steve Kerr. Who got more rings, Steve Kerr or Kevin Nash? As a coach and a player, who got more rings? Steve Kerr. We're not comparing Kevin Nash to Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is not Kevin Nash, and every basketball fan knows it. So stop that. Stop that. Y'all be putting on. Y'all act like folks ain't out here in these streets. The 11 collapse and the 14-4-1 demolition by the Spurs took Braun off the GOAT conversation to me. Yeah. If rings are the standard, MJ top 10. I mean, I don't even. What did Herm Edwards say? Herm Edwards say, "You play to win the game. You play to win the game." Yeah, that's what we doing it for, right? I ain't going out there for practice. Practice. We talking practice. Practice. We talk practice. No, we play to win the game. That's why I'm taking the field. I'm trying to win. I ain't trying to hit this. No. I ain't win. I'm in my feelings. Oh, I don't give a damn. there's never, you ready? Here's the difference between great ones and ones that aren't great. Great ones don't give a damn. There's never a reason why they lost. Individual sport, team sport, great ones don't give a damn. There's a great one. There's never a reason to a great one, someone who considers themselves great, why they lost. It's always their fault. Because they're going to always say, what else could I have done? They ain't looking at nobody else. Because when you great, you know the buck stops and starts with you. If somebody effed up, it was your fault. Because you ain't have them properly ready to go. That you didn't have them focused. Like that's the attribute of a great one. Great ones are never blaming nobody else. It's always their fault. They can't sleep at night. I can't sleep, babe. I can't eat. You know I can't without. Yeah, great ones go through it. So stop, bro. Stop. Stop that nonsense. Stop. What you telling us when you say stuff like that, and I don't like putting that out there, because I know better. You saying you don't have the key attributes of a great basketball player, of a great athlete, of greatness in you. I know that to be a lie. Stop making excuses. Take what you got. Be grateful for what you have, because you got a lot. And stop putting that nonsense out in the air. You better than that. You bigger than that. I'm gonna keep up with your notes, and we're gonna shift gears. Boycott, you like Russell? Congratulations. Bill Russell is 11-2. Yeah. Damn sure is. You right, man. You right. Sure is. Can't say nothing about that. We're gonna go ahead and shift gears over here. Once again, I want to thank y'all for pulling up. Hasbro. I said this was gonna be an entertaining episode. So Hasbro PulseCon, the G.I. Joe side of the house, G.I. Joe Classified. I want to say last week they were supposed to do a reveal, and for whatever reason, I don't know. They created a riot police officer. And in lieu of the events going on in California, they said they chose not to show said police officer action figure. First of all, I understand how folks feel. This ain't a right or wrong thing. It's a nice looking action figure. Come with a lot of accessories and everything like that. It does. I was laughing because I noticed something about it. And shout out to Bobby Valor. I don't know whether it's timing or the way he designed the action figure. Because I sent it to Kamoyo and Dare. I said, you know, Bobby Valor low-key put out a riot gear action figure and nobody said a word. So the differences between the action figure. So the riot action figure from Valorverse is just a basic action figure with a blue suit on, right? Blue suit on. The Hasbro police officer detailed, Buddy got his badge and everything like that. He got the big old riot shield and everything. Got the nightstick. I'm like, ooh. He got his boots on and everything like that. And you normally, we don't see police officers with boots on unless they come in to right, whoop some ass. That's what that is. Bobby's action figure looks more like a villain because he did like 3 different action figures, right? A green one, a blue one, a black one, right? That. And then the riot gear that he gave the action figure, it don't look like, it looked more like military grade. Yeah, Bobby was, I like the way you think. So, mind you, when I look at the action figure, there is some cognitive dissonance there going on with me because I'm looking at the action figure. I know why I got it. Stay with me. Because folks swear I don't know the definition of cognitive dissonance. Why? Because I know why I got it. I do. I know it looks more military-like than anything else, right? But I do know who that figure is supposed to represent. I found my way to make peace with it by saying, oh, well, you know, it ain't, to me, it ain't that. It's part of my SHIELD team. Yeah, he got on the blue outfit and everything like that. SHIELD wear blue, so he ain't a police officer. He's not a riot. He's a SHIELD officer. Yeah, that's the yeah, that's what I told myself. Well, Hasbro didn't review it. And when I say review it, they didn't put it out there for people to take a look at and everything like that. And there's a lot of speculation online as to why, which is one of those things to come about when you say you're going to show preview an action figure and you don't preview it. A lot of people are talking about what's going on with the protests out in LA. There are some action figure collectors that want the action figure. There are some that are laughing at what Hasbro is going through. Let me just go ahead and say this. The fact that Hasbro had to pull it back, felt like they needed to pull it back. If you're in law enforcement, that says a lot about your public image. If you're in law enforcement, that says a lot about your public image. This is a toy. It's an action figure that adults are buying. Your public image, $1 billion company, rather than take a risk on releasing an action figure that represents your fraternity, you know how you like to call it, your fraternity. They felt like way too many adults, grown people, would be turned off by such an action figure to the point where they chose not to release it. If that's not a PR nightmare, I don't know what that is. Because see, we can call it a toy. It is, but it's adults buying this. $1 billion company being ran by adults chose not to release an action figure because of the blowback they felt they would receive from their customers, which are adults. Wow. That says a lot. That's an uncomfortable conversation folks don't want to have, but it's a real conversation. Because if you're first of all, you're supposed to be officer friendly to protect and serve. Thus, any action figure released that resembles you is supposed to be favorable amongst the community, definitely amongst our children. We're supposed to have that representation in house. Now, mind you, I don't know why an action figure company that is military specific chose to go down this road. They still did it. You, as the fraternity of blue, you need to ask yourself, what's really going on? It's a rhetorical question. And I don't work for Hasbro. And you can say whatever you want to. Hasbro is not a woke company. No, it's not. DEI, hell no. No, Hasbro is you. Hasbro is you. So DEI, woke, those are not your arguments in this. Those are not your justifications in this as to why that action figure was pulled. No, this is you. You made this decision. You made this decision based on the way you feel like you're conducting yourself out there in the streets. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. I'm going to keep up with these notes. Then we're going to go ahead and shift gears. We're going to go ahead and shift gears. Like I said, I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Y'all did not have to. Y'all could have been anywhere else in the building. I appreciate it. I really, really do. Let's go ahead and take a look at these notes before we go ahead and shift gears. Maxine, I booted him as he loves to come in just to argue pointlessly. Who was in there arguing? You try to be nice to people and let them get with the warning. Some just like ice skate up here. What happened? Boycott action figure. If you have to announce it, it's not a big deal. He got mad. What he got mad about? Golly, what? Boy, look, hey, he must have been going ham. There are 8 teams in the division and 2 rounds of playoffs. Let's not get crazy. MJ is the GOAT because he's never had to say so. Been demanding to be called. He got mad about LeBron James. Please tell me he didn't. Please tell me. And that's the other thing. LeBron James don't know you. Why you going so hard arguing for a person you don't know? That's the damnest thing to me. I had somebody that I thought was a friend for like years, got mad because I had an opinion about LeBron James. I want you to know there's nothing you could ever say about somebody I don't know to get me to lose my ish. Especially if we're supposed to be tight. Because we know each other. I don't know Michael Jordan. I don't know Michael Jordan. I don't know Michael Jackson. I don't know Prince. I don't know R. Kelly. Just like some folks don't know Diddy. No Diddy. What that mean? So I'm finna go to the well and lose my ish and be mad at somebody about somebody I don't know? Do you know how immature that is? First of all, it's an opinion. But it's an opinion based on facts. Now, as somebody would say, don't argue with me, argue with your mama. You can fact check what I say. I ain't perfect, but to lose the ish with folk, man, come on, man. Man. He got mad about Michael Jordan. Please tell me he didn't get mad about Michael Jordan. Mike don't know you just like Mike don't know me. Just like LeBron James don't know you. And the only way you going this hard for LeBron James is you got to be on his payroll or something else. I'm not on Michael Jordan's payroll. I'm never going that hard for Michael Jordan. Not while I fall out with somebody that I know. Michael Jordan? No. First of all, I don't even own a pair of Jordans. I do own a pair of LeBrons, though. See how that go? Keep it a part of Theo said he was unsubscribing to your channel. Look like this channel. Hey, you know what? He can take his immature behind on, because that is an immature mindset. You mad because somebody got a difference of opinion? You're gonna unsubscribe and lose out on a lot. Everybody don't think the way you do, especially when it comes. You unsubscribe because I said something about somebody you don't know, that don't know you. Is LeBron James gonna tweet you and inbox you and say thank you? See how that go? You think Michael Jordan is gonna inbox me and say, Theo, I appreciate how you talking about? No, neither one. No, nothing. There you go. So if you're gone, and if that's what it took for you to go, then it wasn't gonna be much to keep you here in the first place. In essence, bothered, unbothered. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Moving right along though. If you have to bring up Russell's achievement to defend you, man, listen, I ain't gonna do it. Like I said, we're gonna move right on and everything like that. Keep the party rolling. It is what it is. Reign culture, we compare greatness to greatness. We know what Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills achieved. 4 Super Bowls in a row. No other football team has ever accomplished that. That's a feat in and of itself. They didn't win one. They set all types of records and everything like that. And there's nothing. We are not going to say Jim Kelly was not a great quarterback. We're not going to say that. Yes, he was. He just wasn't Tom Brady. he just wasn't Tom Brady. Dan Marino is a great quarterback. Nobody is ever going to say, we're not even comparing Dan Marino to Fran Tarkenton. And damn it, Fran Tarkenton had been to some Super Bowls too. Well, you know why we're not comparing Dan Marino to Fran Tarkenton? Because we saw both of them play. And we know who did what they did. So stop. Just stop all that. That's like saying, yes, we watch boxing. We do. And we watched Mike Tyson. We did. And we saw Mike Tyson get knocked out. Buster Douglas. Now, do we think Buster Douglas is as great of a fighter as Mike Tyson just because he won that night? No. Keeping the party rolling. A pic got him heated. How a pic on TikTok turned into a Genu scandal. Listen, y'all buckle up. We finna enjoy this one. We're gonna go over some comments. I think Greg pulled up earlier today when I was on TikTok and everything like that. We had a blast. Folks have gotten triggered by a picture that was put on TikTok. Y'all saw the picture. I posted it on my YouTube channel. The picture, as you can see it consists of Christopher Reed, right? Brandon Ruth, Paul Walker, Chadwick Boseman, William Hurt, and Harrison Ford. I put that picture on TikTok. I ain't say too much with it. I ain't say too much. But it'll hold on, let me check real quick. let me check something real quick. Cause I didn't know it was gonna generate that much traffic. I didn't. You know, hey, I ain't saying, I'm just saying. But let's see what we got going on over here. So we're here on TikTok. So that particular picture is at 9,001 views right here. I got a notification in my inbox and everything like that. Let me see what we got going on over here in the inbox and everything. Let me see here. Nope, nothing there. Nothing there. Let's see here. No, okay, all right. So we pretty good at everything like that. When it comes to that, I'm gonna make sure I put this charge in here because I don't want us to lose no juice. Because I think we got a great show this evening. There we go. So I put the picture on TikTok. I did. I put the picture on TikTok. And if you have slid into the lives on TikTok, you've heard what I said. If you went over and just read the comments, what you say? Come on, yo. I put TikTok on fire. So what I did was I took the liberty of screenshotting some interesting comments. Now, mind you, I offended some folks with that picture. I did. Kendrick Lamar does have a song out there called "They Not Like Us." They not like us. Yeah, I guess that's who I offended. Based on the comments, you're gonna be able to tell these folks aren't Black Panther fans at the very least. At very least. So, without further ado, let's get into one of the first ones: potato salad. Now, potato salad profile pic is what the dude named Kingpin. Kingpin, right? Bro, I don't necessarily know if we talk like that in our culture. I think we say bruh. So that says bro does not know what cognitive dissonance is. They chose not to recast T'Challa and give him a respectful send-off so Shuri could take up the mantle of Black Panther, which probably would have happened in the second movie if Chadwick was alive anyway. Plus, Chadwick's version of Black Panther specifically was so important for Black superhero fans everywhere. Chadwick wasn't just a superhero actor, he was the superhero actor that helped break barriers in the film industry. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. Now, mind you, I thought it was Wesley Snipes. I thought it was Wesley Snipes. I could have been wrong. I'm sorry. My bad. Hey, y'all, I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's all. I thought it was Wesley. Because I thought Blade was attributed to jump starting the superhero franchise in movies. I thought it was him. Because you know the whole Batman movie, that last one, it basically deleted it. You know, the one with Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I thought it was Blade. And I thought it was Blade made us as Black folk feel good. Like, yeah, that's us. That's us right there. How many of us dress up like Blade during Halloween? Still to this day. Like I could have sworn it was Blade. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Because I'm thinking quite a few actors that's Black looked at Wesley Snipes' portrayal of Blade and said, I want to be a Black superhero. Like, no, I don't even want to be the white superhero no more. I want to put something on our superhero like what Wesley did. I could be wrong. But see, this me, I'm Black. I'm Black. I check for Black. It's not an occasional thing with me. It ain't something that it just pop whenever it pop up, then I'm checking in. No, I'm Black 24/7. I ain't just looking for the Black stuff that's gonna make me mad. I'm Black. So you sure it wasn't Wesley. Then this other part here where you alluded to earlier. You said they chose not to recast. They chose. You're right, they chose. Why they make that decision? Because they ain't ever chose like that anywhere else. You're right, they chose. But who is they though? Because I know what the brother said. Know what the family said. Contradictory to they. Mind you saying they, you ain't mentioning they as in the family. So who is they that you would lead to? And the fact that you say they was gonna take the mantle away from Chadwick, you mean T'Challa, and give it over to Shuri, because you keep conflating the two. You know, that kind of supports the thing that I said before on my lives, in which I said they were going to take the mantle away from Chadwick Boseman prior to Black Panther 2, prior to him passing away. You just validated something I said. But why would that be the move that we made? Wouldn't we want to treat T'Challa like we treated Steve, like we treated Tony, like we treated Thor? Why would we be in such a hurry to move on from T'Challa? 1.3 billion, and we want to make that move? Wow. Okay. Clear, safe to say you didn't know what you were talking about, which is why you going about your business. But you had a private account, and I don't do private accounts anymore. So who do we have next? And I'm gonna keep up with these notes, because yeah, they said it with a straight face. Said it with a straight face. I don't know what to say. S-Jatic, Theo's journey into TikTok has been interesting. It has. Because I don't think they're not used to that over there. Like, they're not used to somebody coming over and saying, no, we ain't doing that. They used to folks being, I don't want to say part of the, well, you know what? I'm gonna let somebody else, because I don't want to say, I don't know. What I would do is I would let somebody else describe the difference between my approach and another Black comic book influencer's approach over there on TikTok. I believe mine is a little bit different, but we all think our stuff is different. But I'll let somebody else say that. But I ain't over there for all that. I know what I'm talking about, and I ain't afraid to let you know. And I match energy. But you got to be careful when you match energy on TikTok, because they really be wanting you to say something you ain't got no business saying, so your live will get shut down. What they don't understand is that I've literally read a dictionary from front to back. I got a plethora of words I can use. That was Nate Moore, who wanted everything in Wakanda not named T'Challa. Exactly. Alternate account alert. Yeah. What we got going on? Mind you, was a basketball conversation up until two people challenged my manhood. But I'm the one mad fine. And I never mentioned LeBron. Blocked me again. Just wanted to. Well, hold on. Because you coming in with a lot of energy. And why did you unsubscribe? Because you back. But you unsubscribe. Now, I don't mind addressing people, but what did I say that offended you as a man about another man you don't know? Neither one of us do, to the point where you got offended, where you unsubscribed. Because you unsubscribed and said your issue is what with me? You didn't even do me the due diligence of inboxing me and saying, hey, Theo, bop. I'm just going to unsubscribe. Well, I mean, it kind of is what it is. But there's no, when you think about what I'm saying, what did I say wrong? And how did you get so heated? Anybody for that matter. You say it was somebody else. I say, how does anybody get heated? You weren't here because you had left by then. How does anyone get so heated about somebody you don't know? You know LeBron wet the bed against the Dallas Mavericks. You know that. And you know LeBron ain't ever took a hometown discount. You know that. Ain't nobody saying nothing. I said I don't blame him for losing to the San Antonio Spurs when he played with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Did you hear that part, or did you just hear what you wanted to get mad about? I think you heard what you wanted to get mad about, which is what way too many folks do when they done fell in love with somebody. The guy don't know you. He don't know you. No differently than none of these cats know me. When folks are speaking facts, don't get into your feelings. You can easily be manipulated by your feelings. I didn't say anything wrong about your guy. I just said what you didn't like about your guy. Well, you know what? You cannot like the fact that it's raining outside. It still don't change the fact that it's raining outside. Now, Vice coming back with all that vitriol and everything like that, because that ain't what this show is about. It's not, because you didn't handle it correctly. You could have inboxed me. That ain't what you did. So you can either partake of the show like all of us should as adults, or you can be mad. That's perfectly fine. That is your right for whatever reason. But if you don't like what's being said over here, you don't have to be here. Moving right along. moving right along, moving right along, because we not gonna belabor the point. We're not gonna do that. You going back and forth with people over a topic to the point where you didn't got, never mind. The guy in love with tuna. Because we back on what we was talking about, the topic at hand, right? We're not gonna hijack the show. We don't, pause for a second. I'm gonna shift gears real quick. I was talking to my wife about this. I think I was talking to Dara about this as well. I'm pretty sure I was talking to Dara. When it comes to the Black superhero community, the same assumption is made by two different demographics for two different reasons. Regardless of what the Black comic book reviewer, superhero content provider says, the white one will never believe that they know as much as a white superhero content provider. Never gonna believe that. You will always believe that the white person knows more. That's what the white person. They're never going to feel like the Black person is just as capable. If the Black person knows more, it's about Black superheroes, and even that might be a stretch. Oh no, it's the white person. We do that too. We believe the white person knows more than the Black person when it comes, because we quick to disrespect ours. We'll never go over to theirs and do that. We won't do that if they talking action figures. We won't do that if they talking comic books, superheroes, movies, or nothing. But we'll challenge ours all day because we don't think ours know. That's what that is. We don't think ours know. See, getting mad, you think I got an ulterior motive. You think I don't like LeBron James. Thus, that's why I have to be critical of LeBron James. Well, that's what's being talked about right now, is that if you say anything bad about LeBron James, folks get mad. Did you not hear me say it's a credit the fact that he's even being mentioned in the same breath with Michael Jordan? Or once again, did you just hear what you wanted to get mad about? As Stephen A. Smith said, someone who I don't agree with by and large, the fact that folks talk about him, put him at number 2, bypassing Kobe, by the way. I don't agree with that. But the fact that folks do that says enough in and of itself to his greatness. You mad because you upset that folks won't elevate him past Mike? Y'all mad about that? Okay, if you mad about it, let's play. Something that I saw James Harrison say on the interview. I don't believe in participation trophies. You want me to give it up to him because he went to the NBA Finals 10, 11 times and went there 4 and lost 6 or 7? No, you lost. You lost. If Michael Jordan goes to the NBA Finals and is 0-4, we're not talking about Michael Jordan, or at the very least, I ain't. So maybe when it comes to greatness, my expectation for greatness might be higher than yours. That's on you, for you to get so 38 hot. No, I'm not giving out no potential. I don't care if you went 30 times. You went 30 times and you didn't win 30. You went 30 times and you didn't even win 15. That tells me you were good enough to get there, but you weren't good enough to close the deal. And I don't, as somebody who's played sports, who's won and who's lost, well, I don't want somebody telling me, hey, Theo, you just as good as the other team. No, I'm not. I just played them. They won. You ain't got to make me feel good. I'll go in the gym. I get better. I'll come back and see them. So there's that. But going back to what was going on in regards to TikTok, folks feeling in their feelings because somebody put a picture up. Like I said, I could have swore it was the Genu scanner or the same scanner Rom had, because folks was coming out left, right. This is the guy in love with tuna. I like tuna fish my damn self. So are we mad that they didn't recast T'Challa, or are we mad that they let Chadwick's memory respectfully rest? Once again, somebody that's not like us. Well, how did they let his memory rest if they started talking about doing a sequel less than 6 months after he passed? That's not letting him rest. That ain't. I know what you're saying. Sound dumb, but that ain't letting him rest. And am I mad, or am I just pointing out an inconsistency? Why black folks got to be mad when they point out an inconsistency? Why that's the first thing we run to? Oh, I got to be an angry black man. That's the first thing we want to run to when a black person points out an inconsistency. Oh, you mad? I'm woke. I see that. And you can't act like you don't see it either. You see it too. You just want to act like I'm mad. I don't need no emotion to point something out. I just need to have some eyes, some ears, and a mouth to be able to articulate. I see that. Yeah, no, ain't nobody mad. But once again, you're not like us. The guy in love with tuna. Boy, look, made it too easy. I'm gonna keep up with these notes, then I'm gonna come on back down with some more comments. Let's keep it going. Let's see. Because I didn't come here for the nonsense. I didn't. Folks should be able to give you their opinion, and folks not. Oh, let's see here. I am seeing that with the Ironheart reaction. Yeah, imagine MJ running to the Lakers with Magic and then calling Larry Bird. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Braun was Mr. Not 1, not 2, not 3, that's what he said. Paul Walker is letting the memory rest. Sent him off like a champion. Come on, S. Jaddix. Y'all give it up one time for S. Jaddix and everything like that. They sent him off. Come on, say that one more time. Paul Walker and those detractors of T'Challa being recast, have you ever heard them say they were mad, upset, or that it was disrespectful in the way that they sent Brian O'Connor off? Have you ever heard them say that was disrespectful? Nope. Just like you didn't hear them say recasting Thunderbolt Ross was disrespectful. See, they didn't say that either. Nor did they say it was disrespectful the way James Gunn chose to honor Christopher Reeve. It's never been disrespectful. While the characters that look like them continue to walk around alive in fiction. We say something, though, it's a problem. Oh, the Genus were out in full force today, and I didn't mind exposing them. I didn't. Let's get here next. We got a manual. I understand where you're coming from, but what do you really realistically expect? Especially since characters like Superman, you just want them to never make anything Superman again. That's so disingenuous. Come in acting like you're concerned. Hey, what do you want them to do? Then basically tell you that T'Challa is inferior to Clark Kent. Why is that though? You ready? Why is T'Challa insignificant to Clark Kent? Let's talk about systemic racism. You're like, damn. I told y'all, I will take these issues and tie them into social issues, and you be like, golly. Let's talk about systemic racism. Clark came around when? 30s. Who was the next actor to take up Clark? Live action movie or live action period. It was George Reeves. Now, mind you, before Christopher Reeve picked up the cape, we lost George Reeves. I won't get into it. You can Google it. But there was a gap of time between him and Christopher Reeve as Superman. Now, mind you, during this time frame, I know about Mon-El. See how I just did that? I also know about Supergirl. See how I just did that? I also know about Power Girl. See how I just did that? So round about this time frame, if we want to just put Clark where he is because George is gone, there are options on the table. We don't do that though. We don't do that. We bring in Christopher. Now, mind you, Christopher came in after T'Challa was created. Because at no point in time did Marvel ever treat T'Challa like Clark. Systemic racism. You got Clark, whether the actor is alive and well on the big screen, on the small screen, in comic books, in animation. We're not doing that with the black character. An argument could be made that they're not doing that with any of the black characters, but they definitely not doing it with the #1 black character. Or whoever you want to pick. Superman is the #1 white character, superhero. Spider-Man, #1 character, superhero, white, whatever. Batman, pick one. But we know beyond a shadow of a doubt, T'Challa is the #1 black superhero. And running a close second, if not side by side, is the young lady that folks don't want to see him married to. It would be Aurora Monroe, aka Storm, with Misty Knight, Sam Wilson, and Carl Lucas, aka Luke Cage, rounding out the top 5. You don't see them. You don't see them. You looking for them because they remind you of you. Tuna, I like Tuna. I like Tuna, not checking for them. Jay, not checking for them. What the dude name? Want to make sure I get everybody. Emmanuel, not checking for them like that. The guy in love with Tuna, not checking for them like that. Potato Salad, they're not checking for our characters like that. That's why they're able to say, oh, you can wait on your character. You can, it's easy to tell somebody to wait when you eating. It's easy to tell somebody to wait when you're eating. But for you to, watch this, for you to feel like I shouldn't be waiting, to feel like it's wrong for me to be waiting, you would have to take on some of those people that had the personality of the freedom riders, right? You would have to become empathetic, right? You would have to see some of me, some of you in me. That's the problem. You don't see you in me, but you feel like I need to see you in me. I do. And that's the difference between the two. That's why I'm able to say we, us, me, our people deserve exactly what everybody else is getting, because I don't see a difference between me and you. You do. That's your fault. Let's see who else we got here. Who else stepped up to be done for the day? Prince T'Challa and King T'Challa are based on the same character. It was a special way to have a new T'Challa without, watch this, without retconning Chadwick. That's what the person actually said. I cut off the note before I could get there. Without retconning Chadwick. How many times have we heard folks say some crazy stuff like, you can't recast T'Challa. You can't, not T'Challa, you can't recast Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman is a real person. But while we talk about recasting Chadwick Boseman, we're not talking about recasting Christopher Reeve. We're not talking about recasting Brandon Root. We're not even talking about recasting William Hurt. What recasting a real person? And if T'Challa, here we go, Prince T'Challa, he's not a prince. I told him that on TikTok today. He's not a prince. He ain't no prince. His dad ain't married his mama. Don't be just throwing around titles just because somebody didn't told you that. Oh no, he's not a prince. Prince who? Well, who recognizes him as T'Challa's son? Nobody. Don't nobody even know that boy exists. That boy and his mama were hiding in Haiti. I still don't know why, and I don't know why that makes sense, especially when his daddy literally told his granddaddy he should have brought his second cousin home. Y'all like, Theo, damn. No, that's what it is in our culture, right? That's what it is in our culture. His daddy told his granddaddy, because Eric would be Toussaint's first cousin, right? His daddy should have brought his great. You should have brought your nephew home. You ain't bring your nephew home. That dude that snapped on his dad for not bringing home his first cousin, him. That dude did the same thing his dad did with his own son. Stop it. Gaming potato. I think it's fine not to recast. They always think it's fine for you not to have your stuff, don't they? I think it's fine not to recast. MCU will probably get a soft reboot soon anyway. And the director of Black Panther 1 and 2 wanted to move the story towards Shorty anyway. And Chadwick knew his illness would impact his future as a character. So I entirely believe the choice not to recast was already made before he ever even died. They knew there was a risk and tried to ride it with it when things didn't, but it's a lot of assumptions being made in that, ain't it? But once again, if you're saying they knew to move forward, that was what they were going to do, then you're validating the video that I made 2-3 years ago that they had already made this decision. That aside, though, they didn't know he was ill. Where you get your information from? Because Nate Moore got a whole video out there on Ringerverse. It took them by surprise. That's what he said. The cast and crew say the same damn thing. Hell, Anthony Mackie got a video over there with Jamel Hill. Chadwick kept to himself. Ain't nobody know what was going on with him. So where you getting your information from? Or is it that I don't know? You just think that you just you know you don't know this, right? But you doing this as somebody that's to tell us what? Gaming potato. Zombie 44. I'm going to read this last comment, then I'm going to come over to the notes. There are countless examples of both approaches happening in Hollywood. Really? Countless. Let me see. Spartacus? No. Harry Potter? Lord of the Rings? No. Any Batman movie? Any Superman movie? Nope. James Bond? Star Wars? Nope. Fast and Furious? Because I'm trying to stay in the superhero action genre, and no, that's it. This it right here. It's what the writers want. So the writers wanted to do it this particular time. Ain't no writer ever wanted to delete a character the same way the actor passed away before. Just now, awfully convenient. Yeah, awfully convenient. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Awfully convenient. Let me see here. Kamoyo King, they get their info from outyourass.com. S-Jatic, Spartacus is really the exact route they should have gone. BP2 doing the blip, then boom, T'Challa is back. Actually, not my brother Flash by Night Marvel, but student of the game had been throwing that out. They're like, why don't y'all just use the blip? Y'all want to use blip? Why not? The blip right there. You know, actually, there's a young man on YouTube using action figures. Actually did a stop motion featurette of how it should have went down. It's with the blip. It's with the blip. Action did a great job of it too. I forget his name. Professor Film Fan. Maybe some of us don't want a T'Challa because we are more comfortable with only being our superheroes. You saying a lot right there. Ain't it? Everybody might not be ready for that one. Assumptions that are all factually wrong. Since we know Chadwick only told Kevin, not Nathan Ryan, at the final hour, I don't know where he didn't get his information from Derek. He didn't get his information from Urban Faith. Safe to say. Keeping up, Miss Maxine Shaw. Even if he couldn't be king, T'Challa would have never had his son raised outside Wakanda. He would have been raised a la Jon Snow in the Stark household. And I just want to say this. What comic have we read where T'Challa has a child and he wasn't married to the mother? If somebody knows that comic sits out there, regardless of what universe it takes place in, please let me know. But tell me if you could, because I don't know everything. I don't. What comic is it that T'Challa has a child and he wasn't with the mother of that child? Y'all let me know, because I could be wrong. So mind you, Clark's son in Superman Returns got two daddies and a mama. Clark ain't ducked Lois and his child off on another planet. He left them right there on Earth. Kind of like I would have thought how T'Challa would have left Nakia and his son in Wakanda. My dog literally moved them to an island. Like, you can't even be on the same continent. Why not? Because of that young lady in Kenya. That sister in Kenya find out what's going on. All hell finna break loose. Lupita Nyong'o said, I hope Storm don't come, because if she come, I'm gonna have to be a villain. Well, me and my petty behind saying she already there, her T'Challa already hooked up to Son is a mistake. That's why you jumped off it. T'Challa don't know how to have that conversation with. No, y'all stay here. Y'all stay here. he didn't even tell his sister, because he knew she was gonna spill the beans. Yeah, I'm being petty. Keeping the party rolling. We're gonna move it right along, because I think we got some more notes here and everything. Vernon Hampton, Aldous Hodge is right there. Ben right there too. You remember when we was even participating in the nonsense that said nobody could replace Chadwick Boseman? Aldous was sitting right there. It's crazy. Everybody say that, and them folks been sitting right there. Damson Idris been sitting right there. He has. Everybody and mama who name you finna mention right now, and thank you so much, Mr. Hampton, not saying you specifically, but all the naysayers, they've been sitting right there since 2020. Oh no, don't pivot now. Because you said something I ain't never thought I would have heard. A black person can't do the job of another black person? Well, that's crazy. Don't they want us to come over there in Nebraska right now and get out there in them fields? Never mind. Too soon? Too early? Too political? Okay, my fault. The comic you're looking for is S. Jaddy say the comic is FMA, from my yam cakes. We gonna say that. Smart and knowledgeable about the character. Yeah, no, they don't want that. The comic. Let me keep up with these notes. Yeah, so keeping up with let's keep up with the other comments, because we had them. They was throwing them out here. Left and right. Let's see here. Mr. Knoxville. They did recast him. He just a kid Black Panther son. That's not a recast. That's a brand new character, an additional character, if you will. I see, words have meaning, got definition. And I don't know, because here we go. What's the voice actor for Batman? Hold on. What's the voice actor? Because this point right here really nails it home for me. Voice actor Batman. Tell me what the voice actor, this other phone, voice actor for Batman. Let me see. Voice actor. Because I don't want a voice actor for Batman. Voice actor Batman. We talking about animated series, yeah. Kevin Conroy. Can I talk to my brothers and sisters this evening? And when I say can I talk to my brothers and sisters this evening, I'm talking to my comic book. You read comic books, you a comic book fan, you my brother, you my sister. Yeah, that ethnicity, they're not talking about that. Can I talk to my brothers and sisters this evening? Come on now. So when we come to the stage, right, on December 10th, right, and we say what we got to say, right, about Chadwick Boseman, right? Now that's the only live action actor we got. Amen. Amen. That's the only live action. We got a gang, a sleuth, a plethora of voice action actors. But I know that ain't what we're doing. Come on, somebody, talk to me. Is the church with me this afternoon? Hold on. Come on now. Is the church with me this afternoon? Kevin Conroy. Can we say Kevin? Oh Lord, good God Almighty Jesus. Kevin Conroy. Who in the world is comparing? Oh, somebody help me out this evening. Who in the world is comparing Kevin Conroy to, I don't know, Ben Affleck? Can we talk about it? Is somebody comparing Ben Affleck to Kevin Conroy? Y'all help me out this evening, because I could be mistaken. Because folks keep wanting me to watch this. Compare Chadwick Boseman to Tay Diggs. I don't think I'm comparing Chadwick Boseman to Tay Diggs. I don't think that's what I'm doing this evening. Are we comparing Kevin Conroy to Val Kilmer? Y'all help me out this evening, because good God Almighty Jesus, Lord have mercy. I don't think that's what we're doing. I don't think we comparing Kevin Conroy to Val Kilmer. But you know what? I understand that might not be fair, because we might not like those Batman movies, even though I happen to like Michael Keaton. I don't think we comparing Kevin Conroy to Michael Keaton. But are we even comparing Kevin Conroy to Christian Bale? Lord have mercy. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Are we comparing Kevin Conroy to Christian Bale? Are we comparing the performance of Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, by Christian Bale to the performance of Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne, aka Batman? I don't think we're doing that. I don't think we're doing that. Kevin Conroy that passed away, ain't he? Let me say it one more time. I said Kevin Conroy then passed away. And Kevin Conroy then played not only just the voice actor of Batman, he also been a live action actor of Batman. And has anybody said at one point in time, we need to go ahead and take Bruce Wayne off the radar? No, they haven't. Had they said they need to take Bruce Wayne off the radar, live action, because Kevin Conroy portrayed him live action? No, they haven't. Had they said we don't need to be doing no more animations with Bruce Wayne, Batman in them, because of his role as Bruce Wayne was iconic in and of itself, that it transcends any and other all performances as Bruce Wayne. No. It ain't nobody other than, as my brother Flash by Night said, ain't nobody ever gonna put that in their mouth to say no. Well, why not? Why not? If we over here can be convinced to compare Chadwick Boseman to Tay Diggs, why we ain't asking them to compare Kevin Conroy to any other live action actor? Why we not asking them to compare Kevin Conroy to any voice actor of Batman? Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Because Heath Ledger gone. Did we ever compare Heath Ledger to Mark Hamill? See, they don't want to talk about stuff like that because it's easy to talk about stuff like that. No, they rather just make you feel good with what you don't have. Well, you ain't saying that about Heath Ledger and Mark Hamill. You comparing them to? Will you ever? But just because he's my favorite Batman don't mean I don't want no more Batman stories. Bruce Wayne story. I agree with that, S. Jadix. Kevin is my Batman. It's his voice I still hear. Hell, they didn't even take a break from not at all. Not at all. I compare actors for voice roles. Yes, Kevin Conroy to other Batman performing. Voice acting is acting. It's limited though. Because one of the things that they look for, and I'm just gonna let you know, that's not a fair comparison. the voice actor ain't doing nothing physical. You're not looking at the voice actor for looks. The live actor, they got to have the looks. To a degree, they got to do their own stunts. That's not fair to either party involved, considering both roles demand different tasks. They demand different executions of performance. That's not fair to anybody. If that's the case, we might as well sit up here and put them in the same category when we talk about Academy Awards. That's not fair. It's never been fair. It's never been fair. You as the voice actor, you got to know how to hit your cues by and large without having any visual aesthetics in front of you. That's not so for the live action actor. But nobody's asking you to do stunts. Nobody's asking you to lose weight. Nobody's asking you to do anything with your physical looks whatsoever. You just get to walk in, use your voice. You got to be trained. I'm not diminishing it. But your job requirements aren't the same as the live actions, and their job requirements aren't the same as yours. To me, that's like comparing the quarterback to the running back. Yeah, he can run with the football. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Grand Madam. Tay Diggs did do the voice acting work for Black Panther, for T'Challa. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So but I'm not comparing. I'm not doing that. As a matter of fact, Digimon Hensu, he voiced T'Challa in the BET animated series. Am I comparing him to Chadwick Boseman? No, that ain't fair. That ain't fair to either one of them. That ain't fair to either one of them. I'm not gonna do that. Oh, because I like what Digimon did. Now, mind you, Chadwick Boseman has voiced T'Challa as a voice actor. Now, you could take his performance in the What If series, right? That's fair. And compare him to the other voice actors, because he's actually been the voice for the character. You can compare those. But you can't compare live action to voice acting. If you do, you're being unfair to both parties. Mind you, I didn't say one was tougher than the other, but I know there are different requirements involved. And just because you can do one does not mean you can do the other. So, but that's an opinion. See how that go? It's an opinion. So we can be free to disagree. We can be free to disagree. A voice actor also does mocap is closer comparison. Yeah, we can be, listen, we can, because that's the whole thing, right? Rock with me, nation. We don't get stuck on the topic. We agree to disagree, move on about our business. It ain't that serious. Watch this. I can sit up here and say what I want to. I think and say I have more of a relationship with y'all in the chat right now than anybody that I've been talking about. So it ain't that serious for me to be like, oh, what you say? No, I ain't go. It ain't that serious. I wish more of us got down like that though. Who else? Joey. Now Joey went ham. Joey went ham. Joey couldn't stop. Joey is a Wolverine fan. The thing is, Superman Returns is just a completely different movie in tone and style to read Superman. Yes, it is technically, that's what he said, technically the same movie, the same Superman, but he isn't going to reprise a role because not only had he passed, he would have just a bunch of gibberish. In other words, we're going to keep finding ways to justify ours while keep justifying while you don't have yours. And we are smart enough to believe that you're dumb enough to go along with what we're saying. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. So what you want Christopher Corpse playing Superman in Superman Return, then you get the disingenuous comment. The inhumane. Now I got to be seen as inhuman. Like I don't have any sympathy whatsoever for the Christopher Reeve family because no, you reach it. And you reaching because you know you're wrong. You know you're wrong. Forget about it. With all due respect, these are terrible examples. Brian O'Connor was never recast. Character wasn't killed off either, though, was it? It hasn't appeared since Walker's death. They have mentioned him. Yeah, they have mentioned him. And Chris Reed was never going to return for Returns regardless. They recast that character. Now, how you know he wasn't going to return for Superman Returns regardless? You mean regardless if he wasn't paralyzed? Now, if you're saying he wasn't going to return because he was paralyzed, that makes sense. But that would make the same sense if Chadwick Boseman couldn't return because he wasn't here. Recast the character. Sure, I wouldn't have minded a recasting of T'Challa. I can't tell. Sound like you perfectly fine explaining why you ain't got it. But there's not much correlation in the examples except for General Ross. Plus, I fail to see how this has any correlation with the new Superman movie since it's in whole 2 iterations removed from the Reed version. You don't see? Is it because you're not woke? So let's talk about the whole Christopher Reeve thing. Brandon Routh took over that role. In essence, another actor could have came on and took over T'Challa's role. Yeah. And then, just like we got Christopher Reeve's son to have a cameo in the new Superman movie, we could have did that with Derek or Kevin. You act like Chadwick Boseman don't have relatives that's alive and well. He does. Yeah, got a wife too. Crazy. Why Chadwick Boseman didn't get the Christopher Reeve treatment, especially considering how great they said he was. They said his performance was iconic in and of itself. Well, I think it's safe to say Christopher Reeve's performance as Superman is iconic in and of itself. You can say what you want to. Christopher Reeve is still Superman. You ain't had nobody around long enough to do what he did with that character. Still got Superman though, don't you? This last one I like. And I'm being sarcastic when I say I like it, because it's somebody that reminds me of way too many people that like speaking for us in regards to our culture. Jay, none of them had the significance to Black Americans and Americans in general like Chadwick did. When he said none of them, he's speaking about the actors that I had in the picture. None of them had the significance to Black Americans and Americans in general like Chadwick did. He is Black Panther. And any recast wouldn't hit the same. Let T'Challa rest in peace with him. To quite a few people, George Reeves was their Superman. And nobody let the character rest. They didn't think twice about George Reeves. See, when you say stuff like this, you act like you're the first generation on the face of this earth. You're just the latest. When you say stuff like this, you come across as really that intelligence level, or at the very least, that respect level. His significance to Black America. How do you know what Chadwick Boseman's significance was to Black America? And how do you know what his contribution to Black America means? How do you know that? Because it's quite a few Black Americans that contributed something to Black America. None of them had the significance to Black Americans. You talking about the white actors? Why would they? So this is a genuine question. Why would any of those characters have the same value to Black people that T'Challa? They wouldn't. Chadwick Boseman played the role, but how do you think Black people feel about Wesley Snipes playing the role of Blade? I'll go back to that one because we keep acting like that. We're proud of the fact that he did that, because you can't make that claim about anybody else. We're able to look at Wesley Snipes, Blade, and say, we saved the superhero genre, not you. And that character, Blade, Wesley Snipes, as I said the greater day, That character was blackety black, black, black. There was nothing white about the way Wesley Snipes portrayed Blade. He didn't act like he wasn't black. He didn't walk like he wasn't black. He didn't talk like he wasn't black. Oh no, he was black. He was black. You look past him. Mind you, the MCU didn't, because they brought him back. Being disingenuous. I'm gonna keep up with these notes. Then we're gonna shift gears, shift topics. It's 8:45. We're not in here for a long time. We're here for a good time. I'm gonna keep up with these notes. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. Y'all did not have to do that. Y'all didn't. Let me see. Professor Film Fan. Facts. A voice actor who also does mocap is a closer comparison. Absolutely. Tay did. But just because he's my favorite actor, okay, we're gonna keep on moving in. Keep the party moving right along. Make sure y'all hit that like button if y'all have not already done so. If y'all have not already done so. Ironheart. I read the comments. So what I'm going to say is this. The comments in regards to Ironheart are awfully similar to the comments in regards to Captain America 4. You have some people that are going to watch the Disney Plus series just because the character is black. There's no shame in that. You're going to have some people that's not going to watch the Disney Plus series because the character is black. There is shame in that. I don't know how you be a bigoted superhero fan. That's crazy to me. Then you also have those that are going to watch it, right? And be able to tell you the differences between what's in the comic and what's in the story. But then you're going to have that demographic that's not going to watch it. They're not going to watch it, not because they're racist. They're not going to watch it, not because they're misogynistic. That's not going to be it. Some are not going to watch it because they ain't moved since Black Panther 2. That's just a fact. Some of those folks ain't moved. Not saying you got to be one of them people, but some of those folks were dead behind serious when they said T'Challa no dollar, and they ain't moved since then. Then you have folks that's like, this ain't got nothing to do with the comics aside from the name itself. You got some folks looking at the representation of the character. They don't like how the character is being portrayed on screen. They're not going to watch it. They're not going to be the ones to get the headlines, though. The ones that are going to be able to get the headlines are those that don't like the character because either A, they don't like women, don't like black characters, and those that are going to say, well, folks ain't, everybody that's not watching it is racist. Both parties are going to be wrong. Don't you get triggered. Don't you get triggered. If you're watching it, you know why you're watching it. If you're not watching it, you know why you're not watching it. Now, those of us that converse with one another, we know why we are watching it. We know why we aren't watching it. Make sure when you go out there in the stratosphere to keep the main thing, the main thing. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. Don't participate in the foolishness. Stand 10 toes down with it. If you're a knowledgeable comic book fan, you should be able to speak to the differences in the TV show and in the comics. It's quite a few. It's quite a few. If you know you're not watching it because of how you feel about recast T'Challa, you ain't got to go back and forth and tell people, well, you didn't watch it because you're not. No, you can leave it right there. But should you want to, it's not a back and forth. Hey, recast T'Challa. We said T'Challa no dollar. That's why I didn't watch it. And I'm black. They ain't got nothing to do with it. And you can be any race, any ethnicity, any gender, any orientation. If you T'Challa no dollar, you didn't watch it, you're not wrong. You said for a reason. You didn't put no timestamp on it. Or expiration date. You didn't put no expiration date. So don't feel triggered. Don't feel triggered. Don't get into the back and forth. Just like we didn't get in the back and forth in regards to Captain America 4. We didn't get into the back and forth in regard to the Thunderbolts. We knew each project was going to perform like it did for the reasons we stated. Well, Like I said, I've read the comments. I'm not jumping in. This ain't my battle. This ain't got nothing to do with me. So y'all got it. As we say with the Rock With Me Nation, I got Ironheart at the house. I'm not gonna do that. What we got? I'm tired of the post saying we need to watch. You are not black if you don't support it. Well, I don't think the folks that kept signing up for needless black on black violence were black in regards to Black Panther 2. They might not like it if I say that though. I don't have, you ain't got her at home, Big Bernie. Hey, now you got choices. If you got Ollie's in your neighborhood, in your area, you can get the MCU version of Riri Williams Ironheart for the low. You can. Or if you want the comic book version, you want to drop by anywhere between 24, 30 bucks and everything, Amazon and eBay. That's what I spent money on it twice. So I don't want to hear none of that. I don't like Riri Williams. I got to actually figure it out. MCU takes liberties. S. Jadis. MCU takes liberties with all characters, but when it comes to black ones, boy, do they go the extra mile. I have seen the Riri spoiler and what they're doing to her in the hood. And listen, ain't my fight. It ain't my. I didn't know the hood was an Iron Man villain. Really? An Iron Man villain, huh? Okay. Vernon Hampton, some of us aren't going to watch it because they just don't like Ironheart. That's true. That's true. That is absolutely true. Some folks just don't like the character. Mind you, am I wrong if I didn't watch Miss Marvel? Am I wrong if I didn't watch Moon Knight? Because I didn't. Am I wrong if I didn't watch Secret Invasion? Because I didn't. Now, mind you, ain't none of them shows do like folks thought they was gonna do. I ain't watched them either. I'm right there with you. Bernie Hampton, I don't want to hear that BS about you don't like black women when I've been demanding Daughters of the Dragon since 2014. Ooh, y'all better watch how y'all treat Mr. Hampton. y'all watch, he mad. Ooh, y'all watch what y'all say. And he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody, especially when they ain't had nothing to say about what happened to Io in Black Panther 2. Now, I don't know why Okoye flying around in Midnight Angel armor. I'm still feeling some type of way about that one. I'm like, what is it? But then again, we feel some type of way about the Queen Mother Ramunda being deleted, which gets overlooked. Folks that want to have so much to say about us wanting T'Challa recast, they casually overlook the fact we did not want Queen Mother Ramunda deleted, nor do we like the fact that Okoye was flying around in Midnight Angel armor. But see, then again, that wouldn't support the narrative. Because for us to be concerned about that, that would mean we were concerned about black women. And we would actually be going the extra mile, because then we'll be showing that we are actually concerned about the LGBTQ plus community as well. That don't fit the narrative. That don't fit the narrative. So thank you so much, Mr. Hampton, for that. You're not wrong for missing Secret Invasion of Moon Knight. You didn't miss anything. And you know what? The craziest thing about it is and this is what we don't look at. Everybody who's a content provider, who hyped up these shows, think about it. Because Secret Invasion got hyped. And while I'm saying this, I see quite a few content providers that hyped it up just to turn back around and critique it. But they got you hyped to spend your money on it though. Mind you, they get caught by Marvel. And when I say they get caught by Marvel, Marvel taking care of them. Marvel not taking care of you. They got you hyped to watch Secret Invasion. They got you hyped to watch Moon Knight. And they did they damnedest to tie everything into the comic books when they knew good and damn well nothing could be farther from the truth, just to spin the bottle and tell you, oh, it wasn't good. I know for a fact there was a content provider, you do too. They tried to get folks hyped about Miss Marvel's powers being swapped out. Tried to justify it, tried to explain it, just to do the double take and say fans was upset. I ain't saying, y'all give it up one time. My lovely wife is in the building. Thank you so much, sweetie, for pulling up. My lovely wife and everything like that. Y'all be checking her out. She doing her thing on TikTok. Yeah. She went on TikTok now. Yeah. She trying to get me over there as a DJ right now. And I have been asked to. It's a possibility. I'm going to see what it looked like tonight. Not on TikTok, but in my own place, because we got the DJ equipment at the house. We're going to see if your boy can necessarily make it do what it do. And if we can, then we'll take it to TikTok. But we ain't going to go over there and make no fool out of ourselves. No, we ain't going to do that. TikTok is the devil. I mean, Mr. Hamlin say TikTok is the devil. All right. Getting up on out of here and everything like that. I want to talk to my brothers and sisters. History time. African history. World history. Now, I'm doing this particular topic point right now because some disagreement going on, respectful disagreement. Two folks that I watch, Tabitha Brown speaks, Afro Think Tank. Now, I understand that we got this thing, FBA, Free Black Americans. I like it. I hope you free. Started by one Tariq Nasheed. And we have quite a few older Black influencers. Nice setup. Think they work for a news channel. And they repeat the same talking points. And it's a way to distance themselves from Africa. What I want us to do tonight is not be stupid. Refuse to be stupid. Because, see, here's the thing. And I don't believe that I have to say this, but if you are a free Black American, meaning your origin starts in America, the fact that you're using the word Black to describe you is dead ass wrong. You're describing yourself being Black. Why? Why are you Black? What makes you a free Black American? Help me out, because I'm trying to figure out what makes you Black. You're a free Black American. Well, what makes you Black? Because your point of origin is America, right? Words have definition. Words have meaning. And they all have an origin point. Do you know what the origin point of you being called Black is? Now, quite a few of y'all call yourselves to be intelligent. Some of y'all got PhDs and doctorates behind your damn name and everything like that. But do you know why you call yourself Black? Please don't tell me it's called what they call you. Do you know the origin of you being called Black as a race? I'm hoping so, because you got the PhD. You're the one that's putting these videos out here. You're the one that's encouraging people to go along with you. Well, what's the origin of you being Black as a person, as a race? What is it? Because Black is not an ethnicity. It's a race. But what is a race? You a free Black American, right? How you become Black? I'm waiting. What's your point of origin? Using Black as the terminology, using Black as the defining terminology. What's your point of origin? Tariq Nasheed, Black, this, that, then the third. You keep saying Black. Crazy. That's the wrong damn color. That's the wrong damn color. Your point of origin ain't Africa, then you not Black. And you know that. You know it, because the only reason why you calling yourself Black is because two white men told you were Black. But you don't like Black folks. You don't like white folks, right? You don't accept anything as the white man says is true. That's what you will go above and beyond to tell people. But you will accept that you're a Black race. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one. Lieberman and Blumenbach. When you talk FBA, when you talk Free Black American, why don't you mention those two names? Because that's why you calling yourself black. That's why you get to call yourself black. Except based on what they're saying, you're not black. You've never been black. You were always red. Why you not claiming that? That don't sound good. Free red American don't hit as hard as black do. See, I said I'm gatekeeping. We're gonna stop all this misinformation because, as somebody said, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Yeah, we're gonna stop all this. We the only ones that want to jump into that nonsense. We don't want to be linked to Africa. Well, you know what? You ain't got to be. But what you're not gonna do is keep sowing seeds of discourse, of disenchantment between my people and their point of origin. Our point of origin is Africa. If your point of origin is not Africa, you don't get to claim it. You don't get to claim anything associated with it. And black, that color is associated with Africa. You're not proud of Africa. You see no value in Africa. That is absolutely fine. Then you don't get to claim anything associated with Africa. Point blank, period. And stop talking about the few run-ins you had with Africans over there. Hell, I probably wouldn't like your black ass either. Let me do this right here. Google, because they'll tell you what you should believe. They just won't tell you to go get that knowledge for yourself. I'm going to keep up with these notes before I get started, because once I go in, I'm going in. And I don't care what anybody got to say. They can look it up. They can be in their feelings. I don't care about you being in your feelings. Google it. That way you're not saying anything dumb, because that's what people rely on, us saying dumb stuff, regurgitating dumb stuff just to keep us eternally dumb. I'm not listening to Itch, the author of the Art Mackin has to say. Didn't they vote for Trump twice? I ain't saying, I'm just saying. We keep changing our damn name every 20 years. I ain't saying, you take care of yourself. The TikTok is fun. They're doing a space right now. Okay, so let's get into it. My brother Daryl would say edutainment is what he do. I'm going to borrow a little bit of my brother's Daryl right now. So 1735, the classification of Carl Linnaeus. Linnaeus, Linnaeus. 1735, inventor of zoological taxonomy. See, that's fact. You can look that up. Did I say anything about free black yet? No. Divided the human species into Homo sapiens into continental varieties of Europaeus, Asiaticus, Americanus, and after each and Afro. So let me reread that to you. And mind you, this ain't the first time I done put this out here. The 1735 classification of Carl Linnaeus, he's German, invented, see, he German. He listed as German. He wasn't listed as white. Yeah, they listed him as being German. Inventor of zoological taxonomy, divided the human species, Homo sapiens, into continental varieties of Europaeus, Asiaticus, Americanus, and Afro, each associated with a different humor: sanguine, maniac, oleic, choleric, and phlegmatic, respectively. Homo sapiens Europaeus was described as active, acute, and adventurous, whereas Homo sapiens Afro, yeah, right, going all the way back there. Homo Europaeus, they active. But now the person saying Homo Europaeus is active is Europaeus. Yeah. After, crafty, lazy, and careless. The person making that description ain't Afro. They German. Car. The green one. Chime car. Yeah, see that right there? See, the person that said that about Afro, he wasn't Afro. He was Europaeus. Thus, he was based on something he invented. I didn't invent that. You didn't invent that. Nobody in your family invented that. No, nobody in your, we was over there in Africa minding our own John Brown Afro business. Right. Crafty, lazy, and careless. Johann, see how I did that? Johann Friedrich Blumenbach. We got Linnaeus, we got Blumenbach. 1752, 1840, divided the human species into 5 races. We ain't got no races like that. 5. He German. He ain't called white. He called German. He would be Europeans. He said later human races into 5 species. Later founded on cranial research, the description of the human skull. The Caucasian or white race, Blumenbach was the first to use this term. Blumenbach, the first to use this term for Europeans, and he also included Middle Easterners and South Asians in the same category. So if you Middle Eastern, you white, based on the dude from Germany. If you from Southeast Asia, you white, based on the German dude. Where you say you from as free Black Americans? The Mongolian or yellow race, including all East Asians. The Malayan or brown race, including Southeast Asian and Pacific Islanders. Where you from if you Black? Because y'all putting all this knowledge out here, sowing all this dissension between my brothers and sisters. I don't give a damn if my brother is in Haiti. I don't give a damn if my brother's in the Bahamas. I don't give a damn if my brother's in Africa. I don't care. The fact that we've been knowing ever since we was kids that the grand scheme was to keep us separated like that, the fact that we going along with it, and we got YouTube channels out here promoting it. But you intelligent though, right? You looked up what you were talking about beforehand. You got a doctorate. You got a PhD. You want to be that person that folks can come to get some knowledgeable information in regards to all things Black, and you start off lying. FBA. I'm ashamed of anybody that's in their damn 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s using that damn terminology. The hell is wrong with you? You should know better. And considering who I am, I shouldn't even be able to come behind you and fact check you. Which then raises the question, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Why are you deliberately misleading your fellow brothers and sisters? What for? Yeah, I can ask that question now. What for? What's the end game? Why is it so important that brothers and sisters in America turn their back on their heritage? We're not asking anybody else to do that. And as a FBA, you're not asking any other race to do that. Why is it so significant, so important to you that just because we're in America, we don't see ourselves in the motherland? What? That's the motherland. Let me guess. You're going to tell me because Africans don't like me. No, they don't like you. They don't like you. I haven't interacted with an African yet that does not like me. No, they don't like you. But then again, I see why. I see why the African might not like you, because you lying. See, the Africa, he knows some stuff you don't know. And he going to keep it a buck. Speaking of the keeping it a buck, what's YN? I'm gonna get on up out of here after this. Help me out. What's YN? Somebody help me. What's the definition of YN? Because I'm divide and conquer, the most classic of strategies, and still working. So it's saying, yeah, I ain't going for it. That is fair, Brenner. But to say that I say my interaction with every ethnic group and race has been mixed. Okay. It's foundational Black American. Foundational. They say it ain't got nothing to do with Africa, though. I don't know how that happened. How you get to be black, but you're not from Africa? That's what I'm asking. If you not black, then you don't have any ties to Africa. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. The person would be the one saying it. You don't have no ties to Africa. Okay, well, having ties to Africa is what would make you black, based on the two German dudes. And since you're using their terminology, you're using their terminology. That's the damnest thing. You're using their terminology to justify but no, that's no. You're using their terminology to say you black, but based on their terminology, you're not black. I agree with some of their points, but not all. I respect that fight for reparation. Reparations should be a universal. Watch this. Reparations should be a universal fight. But see, who do we want the reparations for? Watch where I go with this one. Do we want to represent reparations for free Black Americans, or do we want reparations for all Black Americans who know their heritage is from Africa? Because see, we drew that line in the sand for a reason. That delineation, we said that for a reason. Foundational Black American. First of all, I don't know what a foundational Black American is. You foundational Black American? You Black. What we put in the F? What? Because is the foundational Black American to draw separation between us and Africa? Because why is that? Why am I drawing that separation? Because if there is a separation, then I'm not Black. There were reparations for slave owners. They were reimbursed for loss of property. That part. That part right there. That part right there. So let's see this, because I'm of the mindset, because a FBA today I saw use the terminology YN. That's kind of, if YN means what I think it means, right? Why would a free Black American use such terminology? Because I know what YT stands for, and white T is really just a sound. They're like, it's YT. You're using that to sound something out, to sound out a word. But what are we doing? What's the definition for YN? Now, I'm asking that question because I see somebody who considers himself to be a FBA using the terminology YN. That's interesting. And the person that used the terminology is middle-aged, late 40s, early 50s. So I'm trying to figure out, because I don't know why we started calling ourselves the N-word, because that ain't worked out the way we wanted it to. And we used to falsely say, well, we got it from, no, you didn't. We've been calling ourselves the N-word way before. Not started calling ourselves the N-word back in the day. It was being used in 1775. Some of us want to say it's because of Niger and Nigeria. No, 1963, Nigeria as a country, and 1960, Niger as a country. We was calling ourselves the N-word as a people long before then. So now we're calling our children. So it's not enough to denigrate ourselves by referring to ourselves as the N-word. It's not enough for us to denigrate our brothers and sisters by either calling them the N-word or the B-word. Now we're finna start referring to our young sons as YNs. That's what we call them. And we expect something better. We're supposed to be leaders in our communities. But because we're cowards, because we become intimidated, because we're running from the responsibility of being leaders, this is what we call our sons. But you FBA, huh? I'm gonna get on up out of here. That's enough said for me. Kings build bridges. It is our responsibility to lead the next generation, and nobody ever said it was going to be easy. And we all have been kids at some point in time. Yeah, we have been. And we weren't always the quickest to listen to that adult that wanted to give us some knowledge. I know damn good and well it wasn't me. So we're going to turn our back now on the up and coming generation. So let me see if I got this right. I just want to make sure I'm good. As an African American, I need to turn my back on my point of origin. And I also need to disparage my future on the strength of FBA. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm good. I'm good on that one. I'm good. I'm good on that one. We're gonna keep doing what we do over here. You have a good one. That's on you. I'm finna get on off this live and everything like that. Appreciate y'all for putting up. That's wild. So you don't want me to acknowledge my point of origin, and you want me to insult my future, disparage my future, insult my future, not do any damn thing to grow and groom my future, just give the hell up on my future. And that's the mindset of FBA. Wow. Wow. I'm good. I'll make up my own mind. We are taking the word back. The word never belonged to us in the first place. What we're talking about? There were reparations for slave owners. They were reimbursed for lost property. Clarence Thomas is based on their definition as foundation as they come. What has he done? I like it. Maxine say, we got Africa at the house. You damn right. You damn right. So I'm going to say it like this. Get on up off here. None of us are perfect. None of us. I'm not turning my back. Not doing that. Everybody has a point of origin. And if everybody can be proud of theirs, which they are, as they should be, then I'm not going to not be proud of mine. And the fact that we have too many of us, in my opinion, signing off on that nonsense, safe to say you sleep. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Listen, that's my time. I'm out. Thank y'all so much. Grand Madam Tarot did a live today, if I'm not mistaken. My brother Daryl, hey man, hey, go over there and check out Action Figure Tuesday. Y'all know he did his thing. Go check out Action Figure Tuesday. Also, he will be having his live coming your way tomorrow night. Check that out. If you have not checked out our interview with Joseph Illich on his channel, Daryl's channel, go check that out. We had a blast. We coming back to y'all on Friday. Friday, I don't know what we're going to talk about, but it is Friday Night Vibe, right? It is Friday Night Vibe. Till then, I'm going to see what I can do in regards to this DJ stuff and everything like that. Because I ain't going out there like that. I'm going to see if I can make it do what it do. That said, till next time, in the meantime, in between time, in memory of the late, great Don Cornelius, Chadwick Boseman, we can agree to disagree. That's what adults do. We can agree to disagree. At the end of the day, it don't matter. I still wish each and every last one of you love, peace, and so we out.